Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Test 2 between the Wallabies and the Lions. Week 1 was a very exciting match, and we could only expect the step up that will be coming in for Test 2. A relatively unchanged side for this Australia team. The inclusion now of Rob Valentini coming in on that blind side. We'll be looking to add that power game. The Lions, though, a few more switches around. An all-Irish front row made up of Porter Sheehan and Tyg Furlong this week. Maro Toje and Ollie Chesham in that lock department together for an all-English lock department. The bench, though, one worth talking about. The inclusion of Owen Farrell this week on the bench for his 10-12 cover. Blair Kinghorn on the bench as well for winger and fullback cover. And the inclusion of Jack Morgan, his omission last week. A lot of talking points around that. Tom Curry needing a big game last week to step it up. Let's see how that will carry on into this game after a small wrist injury to Tom Curry, but still remains in the starting 15. Tom Liner to get us kicked off and underway then. A few drips of rain becoming to come down early on now, so we'll have to keep an eye out for what can be going on with the handling in this game as James at Gibson Park wants to get them off and underway quickly, and James Lowe moves up towards that halfway line. Slow ball out of this ruck eventually does come, and it gets into the arms here of Tommy Freeman. He always thinks he's seen a bit of room out the back. Harry Potter having to try and rush back to this one. Oh, does manage to get on it and shrugs off one tackle before Hugh Jones crashes into him. The only remaining member of that centre partnership, with Tuipolatu not in this week. Bundy Archie starting in the 12 shirt. And the Wallabies put under early pressure. No, that's a good knock coming in by Alan Alatoa. One of the things will have been asked by the Wallabies coach this week will be that power game, being able to make meters after contact. And there's a couple of changes reflected in that, with Will Skelton coming into the side, wanting to try and make those breaks through the tackle going to be all important. The Lions defence holding up very, very strong at the moment. Eventually they do try and go out towards that left-hand side, but Tyg Byrne asking questions. The Wallabies team not wanting to give possession back, just trying to play it out from right on their own touchline. Very, very dangerous here. I'm not sure if Tommy Freeman actually ran offside there. Very, very quick off the line. The Lions just wanted to play on. Oh, that's a loose pass, and eventually Tom Wright just clears his lines, asking questions of what on earth that pass was going to him, and Hugo Keaton will bring them all the way back up towards that 22. And Tommy Freeman tries something a bit different this time. Tries the up and under chip over the top. Doesn't work for him, and mark is called by Harry Potter. What a risky pass that was going up to Tom Wright early on. Just had to put a hoof on the ball just to try and get a bit of distance there. As Andrew Porter goes over to have a word with the referee, thinks he's seen something maybe at one of the breakdowns. Wants to just make sure everyone is staying within the letters of the law in this game. As we'll set up for the first line out of the game. It will be an area the Wallabies will be looking to make a bit of a mess of for this Lions team, but it is received well by captain Maro Itoje, and Finn Russell eventually getting out, still trying to play it wide. It's got a little bit slow, but does eventually manage to get out to Tommy Freeman. The Lions trying to apply early pressure into this game, get off to a strong start will have been the words from the coaches, and there he is, the captain Maro Itoje carries them up. It's getting closer towards that 5 metre line, looking for where the room can open up, and this time Ollie Chesham takes it right in to the arms of James Slipper. That's a tough contest to break through. Or a loose pass goes out round the back of Hugh Jones. He's got to do a bit of a dancing feet to try and make his way back in line. Not a great pass out to him. Lions just need to reset, and this time Maro Itoje breaks through one and keeps it going. Len Ikitau left for dead in that tackle, and Gibson Park still wants to try and probe this left-hand side, but Tommy Freeman coming off his wing can't make an impact even with his side this time. As this time Tom Curry, there's a good break and gets the offload away. And Andrew Porter will break through the lines. It will be the Lions who break the deadlock in the first 20 minutes of this game, coming in by Tom Curry. Huge collision to break through that line, but also the awareness to get that offload away. And Andrew Porter doesn't get scored too many of those from a bit of a 10-metre run out, but managing to get over. As Finn Russell then will step up for the first conversion of the game. It's a nice easy one right in front of the posts, and that will take the Lions out to a 7-0 lead against the home side here. Big questions needed to be asked. A lot of pressure coming from the Lions early on in this game as Tom Liner will get us started out once again. That rain still drizzling down. Handling been relatively okay in this game. Just a couple of missed passes along the way as Hugo Keenan lifted into the air, eventually does come down into the arms of the Lions player, and they'll try and play out here as Maro Toje has been busy today, managing to get that out once again to Tyke Byrne. It's still going all the way here to Bundyaki. That's a great tackle coming in by Tom Wright, and James Gibson Park thinks he's seen room out the back there, and James Lowe's on the back of this one as well. Jake Gordon probably will beat him here. Oh, it's just been allowed to bounce just too far. Well played by Jake Gordon there, just to let it roll. Saw it was going end over end. It wasn't a bad option by James Gibson Park, just a bit too much meat on the end of that kick. And we'll set up for the first scrum here. The referee, for whatever reason, has awarded this scrum to the Lions on the 5-metre line. I'm not sure what's gone on there. I'm not sure whether he's having a completely off moment or whether or not Jake Gordon may have actually got a hand onto that ball, but it doesn't matter because the Lions, look at that ball's actually bobbled around in the scrum, and the Wallabies will be coming away with it. And Jake Gordon, who maybe made that earlier mistake, is the one to get them out of trouble and actually takes them back outside the 22. What a interesting series of events to have happened there, but eventually it will get into the arms of James Lowe. The half-hour mark just round the corner, and they will play out towards this right-hand side as Finn Russell gives it off to Jack Conan. He's not used to being driven backwards in the tackle, and James Gibson Park this time plays it very wide and plays an inside ball there, all to Tyg Furlong. Doesn't look like he's too comfortable after that tackle as well, giving that pass away. And it will go out towards this right-hand side now, towards Bundyaki and Hugh Jones. Oh, the centre combo linking up, just asking questions of that left-hand wing of Australia. And Andrew Porter, the try scorer, trying to make his way through. And eventually James Lowe, oh, he's hit a beautiful gap. Who's with him? Looks to the inside to James Gibson Park, his Irish compound player coming in, not able to work from this. Still go towards this right-hand side, and it's Toje. Just wanted to take it into contact. Lions asking questions once again. Now Australian defence going to be on top of its game as eventually it does get out to the man who started it out. Oh, to James Lowe. He hasn't managed to get it down somehow. And the Wallabies do manage to come away with it. But it is dotted down. We'll go for our second scrum of the game. It's a scrappy one today, ladies and gentlemen. It's what an exciting, changing sort of game this one is. And the Lions this time will be looking for a slightly better scrum than they had in the first one. And this one does look more solid. Do they play out left, right as... Jack Conan wants to take it himself. Oh, and Finn Russell's on the sideline of it. And the Scottish fly half will go over. The Lions have clearly identified there was a little bit of a mismatch in that Wallabies defence. Both Tom Wright and Tom Liner stood right next to each other. Not what you want. You've got to be able to stop the power of Jack Conan, but nobody outside them to be able to stop Finn Russell diving over for that one, and will convert his own kick. That will take the Lions out to a 14-0 lead in this first half, and this will be something the coaches will have been looking for. This is much more impressive than what we got to see last week, and the Wallabies needing to answer with something at the minute. They just felt disconnected today. They really haven't spent a lot of time down in that Lions half in this first half, and eventually the ball managing to get back in the hands of the Lions. And James Gibson Park thinking maybe there's room out towards that touchline, manages to get a nice kick away, but does land eventually in the arms of Max Jorgensen, trying to get his first impact into the game, really. Not something we often talk about, to see these Wallabies wingers not making a massive impact, but they have been quiet today. Tom Wright's been the most numerously used player in that back three. And they're still trying to play out towards that left-hand side. And there's Tom Wright once again. He's gone for that kick over the top, and it will just be allowed to bounce out. And that will be half-time, 14-0 to the Lions. The home side got a lot of changes needed to be made if they're going to be able to take on the Lions in the second half. Well, Test 2 was always going to be exciting. Words from both coaches will have been that they need to get off to a strong start. And you have to say it is the Lions that have looked much better in this first half, wanting to spend much of the game down in the Wallabies half. The first half possession and territory stats both in the British and Irish Lions' favour. 80% of that territory played down in the Wallabies half. And all of that territory and pressure will eventually begin to add all sorts of problems for a defending side. We've seen a few handling errors coming in from the Wallabies, causing problems and just having to get those exit kicks away. The pressure eventually telling, though, as Andrew Porter goes over for the first try of the game. Tom Curry carrying hard, bouncing through one player and getting that offload away for Andrew Porter to score, converted over by Finn Russell. And the Lions just would not let up. Unrelenting pressure. The Wallabies being able to hold out for much of that second half, but eventually that second scrum on the 5-metre line, ball picked up by Jack Conan, drawing in the two defenders, and Finn Russell being able to get over for the second try of this game. 14-0 to the Lions at half-time. The Wallabies will need to shake things up. Coaches might need to be starting to look at that bench early on. On to the second half then, and you know the team talks at half-time will have been very different. All smiles in one camp, all sadness in the other. No doubt the Wallabies coaches will have been saying the next 10 minutes is going to be all important in this game, as the ball lofted high and into the air and lands in the arms of the Wallabies players. 14-point differential for the men in goal to make up, as there's a big play there going out. Oh, to Tom Wright, who's broken through the line, and in goes Hugo Keenan. Tackle had to be made, making a nice early break. That is what the coaches will have wanted to see early on into this second half, as the Lions try and apply pressure to that breakdown. Jake Gordon, tries to go out towards this left-hand side. That's a lovely play, and James Slipper finding himself in lots of room out there on the wing and able to make more meters up towards this Lions 22 as they play across field, or nearly managing to hit a gap from the inside there. Hopefully Suoli's okay, a little bit slow back to his feet from that one, as in comes Max Jorgensen off his line. Tom Wright also wrapped up the back three, looking to make an impact now into the second half. That's an enormous handoff on Finn Russell there, and Fraser McWright tries to break his way through the gap. And Tom Wright, who got us all started out, maybe the pass not necessary. Lions once again competing hard at the breakdown, but the Wallabies doing well to defend, and eventually that ball being passed out wide to Valentini, looking to make some extra meters up towards this 22. A lot of good possession here for the men in gold, something they really didn't have in that first half. Going through phase after phase, this time to Jeremy Williams, the ball out to bounce, and does eventually get out. Oh, and it's been turned inside out is Hugo Keenan. And Max Jorgensen looking to make the impact. Great line by him. It all started from this play here. Jake Gordon getting in, getting that pass out. The inside pass not very well received, allowed to bounce, but eventually picked up there by Jorgensen. A little show and go. And Hugo Keenan having the ankle breaker, getting over for the try. Tom Liner stepping up to convert it as well then, to make this one 7 points from 5. And this will be exactly what the Wallabies coaches will look for. That brings them back into a 7-point differential then. 14 points to 7, and the try scorer very happy with his impact into the second half. And out come the subs then. That man, Owen Farrell, coming on. Looks like for Bundy Arkis, who comes on in the 12 shirt. Not just Owen Farrell on, then there's some other changes. Looks like James Lowe has also gone off. That was one we heard at halftime. Might have been a little bit of an injury. So Blair Kinghorn moves out to that left-hand wing. Jack Morgan on in the 6 shirt as well for Tyke Byrne. Of course, his omission last week had a lot of talking points between him and Curry fighting out for that same shirt. We'll be looking to see what impact he can make into this second half, as the ball allowed to play out, and still making a good leg drive there, as Will Stewart eventually does wrestle him to the ground. Not competing at the breakdown now. The Lions players just looking to just try and hold Wallabies into some territory, maybe force them into a kick, as Jay Gordon bites the worm on the hook there, and eventually it does go, lands in the arms of Hugo Keenan. Oh, Tom Wright was absolutely blasting after that one, but it is caught well. And the captain, Maro Toji's found some room. Out to Blair Kinghorn, then new onto this wing. Has some gas to burn. Goes for one more pass on the inside to Finn Russell. Into Hugh Jones as the Scottish players link up together. And that Scottish attacking back line allows them to get over for Hugh Jones to score in the corner. That is how you answer the Wallabies try. And when you're talking about impact from the bench, this is what you want. Blair Kinghorn straight onto the field, hitting a big gap, managing to hear the call on the outside, gets it out to Finn Russell. Now one last pass for Hugh Jones to score in the corner, just outpacing Fraser McWright. And now Finn Russell to convert this one over to 7. He's had a good kicking game over these 2 tests. This one certainly just about as tricky as it can be right over on that touchline. Hugh Jones not giving his fly half any help with making these kicks easier. Oh, but he doesn't need it to be easier, and it is converted over. They didn't want this game to start getting away from them, and that Scottish backline working very well together. What an impact by Blair Kinghorn into this game. So, Tom Liner, once again on this restart, they'll need to double down on how they started out this second half. Try and get another score very, very quickly to put them back in contention this one as it lands in the arms of Hugh Jones there. Try scorer in this team. And the Lions will just try and hold on to a bit of possession here. That's a great little line. Oh, but Jack Morgan's given a loose pass somehow. I don't even know how Max Jorgensen's been able to pass that one back inside out of the tackle. And the Wallabies have moved up now for some easy territory meters here. Trying to press that 5 meter line. Oh, but Jack Morgan making up for that earlier mistake. Great work at the breakdown. Able to get a big turnover there. And Finn Russell wants to try and actually play them out of trouble. So on goes Hugh Jones, looking like he's played the full 65 minutes straight off the face right there. Not a great burst of pace from the outside centre, but the Lions will go on the attack once again. Oh, Blair Kinghorn's found the room through and tries to go for a little dinky kick over the top, and it will bounce into touch. And they want to get on with it. Harry Wilson getting on with it very, very quickly. No messing around. But it is a slow ball. And Jake Gordon left with no real options there. Oh, got absolutely sacked on the end of it. And as does Hugo Keenan there. Still a bit of a rib tickler for him as well. And the Wallabies under all sorts of pressure here. Oh, there's a nice line there by Jack Conan. And they're just trying to mount these passes together. Eventually it gets back out to Hugh Jones. Just charges it up into Tom right there. But it is the big work of that man there, Will Skelton. Brought in for his power today. Managing to get a big turnover when it's necessary. This Wallabies team can't afford to let another one slip through. As Blair Kinghorn receiving this one now, trying to just find it. A little slip out the back pass to Jack Morgan. The subs have made a big impact into this game already. They play right to Will Stewart. Oh, Finn Russell hits that gap. Who's with him? The inside call by Hugh Jones. Scooped up well, though, and now Hugo Keenan having a bit of a foot race. Oh, with Tom Wright. Who just throws a miraculous pass. You've never seen a pass like it before. Managing to somehow know his teammate was alongside him. Able to get the ball, but Dan Sheehan, great work over the ball there. And does get the turnover in the breakdown once again. And the Lions want to play on. Will Stewart not got any pace left in him. His own Farrell tries to make a break around the outside. He thinks maybe he's got somebody with him. He doesn't need it. And Owen Farrell will go all the way. And that's the impact you wanted to be seen by the inside centre once he came on. Gonna put the doubters in question now. What a try. You have to say everyone out there is looking pretty dead on their feet. But Blair Kinghorn with the tackle. Big jackal work though by Dan Sheehan. He's played the full 80 today, and it's great work by him. And then the Lions just not wanting to hold it, going through the hands. Will Stewart able to getting it out to Farrell. Max Jorgensen, Tom Wright just slightly out of position. Jake Gordon giving it his all, just not able to get there. And the replacement centre comes on to score his try. And Finn Russell will be the man to put the final nail in the coffin for Test 2. It's been a much better series for the Lions in this one. They'll be very, very happy with that first half performance especially. But to bounce back after conceding that try to the Wallabies, to be able to go on to make this a 28 points to 7 game, 100% kicking rate for Finn Russell, and great play around the park, you'd have to say too. It's been a fantastic Test 2. Hopefully you've all enjoyed, given some of the limitations that we're working with on Rugby 25. You've still been able to enjoy the videos, guys. Let me know what you think of the game. Do you think we will see a similar result from the game on the weekend? Do you think the Wallabies will be on for their first win? Let me know down in the comment sections, guys. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.